Hi, welcome to DJKIT TV. I'm Chris from Focusrite Innovation, the UK distributors of Stanton products. Today we're going to have a look at Stanton's new DJ controller, the DJC.4. The DJC.4 is a 4-deck controller. Out of the box it comes shipped with a copy of Virtual DJ LE. The copy of Virtual DJ LE that it comes with has its own custom mapping which mirrors what we have on the controller on your software screen as well. As I say, it's a 4-deck controller and is really fully configured. The first thing that you notice about the DJC.4 is the quality of the build. It's got a steel top and a steel chassis. All of the encoders and knobs that we see are actually bolted onto that chassis as well, so it gives it a really strong and robust feel. If we take a look at the back of the unit, we have here balanced outputs and a set of phono outputs as well. We also have 2 sets of inputs, which lets us take any audio source and feed that through to the software. We can also use these for timecode vinyl or CDJs to control the software as well. On this side we have an auxiliary input with a 3.5mm socket, so in case of any sort of issues that might crop up throughout the set, you can just plug in an iPhone or an iPod or some sort of MP3 player to carry things on while you're resetting. The DJC.4 is also bus powered and connects via USB to your computer. But there is the opportunity for using an optional power supply as well. On the front of the unit we also have a microphone input with control for the level. We have an on-off switch for the microphone as well, which lets us obviously turn microphone signal on and off. We also have 2 encoders here which let us adjust the touch sensitivity of the platters. A crossfader curve control as well. Headphone Q and master mix knob, and also a headphone level knob as well, with 2 headphone sockets, 3.5mm and 1/4" jack. If we have a look at the top of the unit, you can see we've got a lot of control available to us. Down at the bottom here we have our play and cue buttons. We also have a tap tempo button as well. Let's start a track and have a look at some of the other features that we have. Okay. So up here we have our sort of performance section, and if we look up at the very top we have our FX control. The custom version of Virtual DJ LE lets us choose between 3 effects slots, and we can move between the effect slots by just simply pressing the effect select button. When we've found the effect slot we want to work with, we can then use the encoder to change the different effect. Here we have a delay sound. We also have the ability for 4 parameter control as well. So if we're using effects that have a lot of parameter control on them, we have full access to that. In addition, we can also turn on the fader effects and trigger these, and then actually control the effects by using the faders. Underneath the effects section we've got our loop controls, and we can set in and out points easily enough with the in and out buttons. So then we have a loop set up, and we can turn that off and on as we need. We also have another control with the beat multiplier knob here, and essentially I can press this and it will trigger another loop, and then I can use the loop length buttons underneath to actually shorten or lengthen the loop. We can also use the encoder to get some really fine loops set up, which can help with some nice glitchy sounds. Underneath the loop section we also have hot cues as well. We have 4 hot cue points per deck, so we can just trigger them by activating here, and then we can just re-trigger them. Under the hot cue buttons we have dedicated sampler buttons, and this lets us trigger samples in any of these slots. So in addition to the sampler trigger buttons, we also have a dedicated sampler volume button knob, which lets us change the volume, so we can bring samples in Underneath this we have platters to control our tempo and beat matching and that sort of thing. We also have sync on there too, and we also have a scratch facility on the platters, so we can instantly just use the platters for scratching. If we look at the mixer section, we have a 3-band EQ with a gain control, and on each of the 3-band EQ controls we have a kill switch by just pressing the knob. It's a true kill, so we can completely kill the sound with that. The low EQ also has a secondary function. If we hold down the shift button, this will also become a dedicated filter. Another clever feature on the controller with Virtual DJ LE is the ability to actually match keys as well. So we can hold the shift button down and change the key of a piece of music without affecting the tempo. We have a full browser section with control over our folders. Again, if we want to change the folder that we're on, we can use the shift button and that will take us up a level, and when we're in the level that we want, just press the button and choose the sound that we want from there. Load a track by just pressing on load deck B. If we want to work on 4 decks, we can use the deck select button that we have here, and when I press this button, on the software it will flip the actual selected deck to the top of the software screen, so we can actually access and play around with the parameters and controls that we have on that deck. If you want to go back to deck A, simply press the deck select button, and on the software the deck on the screen is actually the deck A. On the back of the unit, as I pointed out before, we also have inputs there as well. If we're using Virtual DJ Pro, the full version, we can actually take any audio source and feed that directly into one of the 4 decks. As I say, also we could take our timecode systems and feed those in and control the software using timecode with them. We have a switch here to decide where we're going to take our input from, whether it's on the back of the unit, 1, 2, 3, 4, or whether we're going to use the auxiliary inputs or the microphone input. We also have some other controls on here which let us take care of the video side of Virtual DJ LE as well. And again, if we're using the full Pro version, we can actually send that video signal out to a second monitor or projector for an additional bit of performance. Other features as well, for example, if I press shift and the sync button, the track will go into reverse. And also on the scratch option here we have a smart scratch, which basically removes the actual play. When you're rewinding the track, it basically does the crossfader cut for you. So there we have it, a brief look at the new Stanton DJC.4 controller. At present it's shipping, as I say, with Virtual DJ LE, but this unit will also be mapped to Tractor, and as it's a MIDI controller we could map this to whichever software we like that we can MIDI map with, such as Ableton or Tractor or any of those sorts of programs. If you'd like any more information on this controller, have a look at djkit.com. Thanks for watching.